Well, we go across the continent again, this time to Zambia for an update on their market there. And joining me now is Joseph Lungu, who is investment analyst at InterMarket Securities. Good morning, Joseph. Perhaps just give a big picture of the market there, and then we can go into a couple of your details.
Hello, good morning. Yesterday we had a good day. The Luce Osha index was up 2%, closing at 3,584. Most of that was due to the 10% gain in Airtel share price, which closed up 50 kwacha to 550. All the 2.6 million shares that traded in Airtel were actually purchased by foreign funds, reflecting the attractive valuation of the shares currently and the confidence that is coming back to the local bourse from foreign participants. The total turnover for the whole market was 1.5 billion kwacha, representing an uptick over the average daily volume. Yet today the index is down 14%, however.
Particular interest in the brewery shares, national breweries, Zambian breweries?
Yes, yesterday National Breweries and Zambian Breweries announced their interim results for the 6 months ended 30th September 2012. As you know, both companies are majority owned by Miller. National Breweries PLC business is in the highly competitive OPEC beer market, while for Zambian Breweries it is in the soft drinks and clear beer. As to the actual results, National Breweries reported a 35% increase in revenue to 165 billion kwacha. The volumes were up 44% on the previous year. However, operating profit declined 33% on the prior year, mostly due to the increase in cost of key commodities like maize and packing cartons. The company has stated that profit margins in this business will remain under pressure in the second half of the year as a result of the higher than expected maize prices. And also what impacted their business as well were the statutory instruments that were enacted and enforced this year. For instance, in April, the sale of bulk OPEC beer and plastic packaging was prohibited, and that accounted for 23% of their packed mix. So they had to significantly refocus their business to satisfy the consumer needs.
Well, one of SA Brewery's core competencies is its packaging and the difference between capacity and capability. They're very innovative with that. It is a market where there's been economic growth, and SAB Miller, although their substantial part of their profit still comes from South Africa, they are growing in Africa. And when an economy is growing, there's a shift from the sorghum beer sector to the clear beer sector. So we can expect more growth for these companies, perhaps ahead of the market.
Yeah, indeed. If you look at the Zambian Breweries results, they had a strong performance for the 6 months. Their volume was up 16%, operating profit up 31%, revenue up 15%. And in fact, in their case, they will be actually opening their new state-of-the-art brewery in Dola actually this month, and that should increase their beer capacity from the current 300,000 hectoliters to more than 1.3 million hectoliters. So that should actually help their top line and bottom line.
And let's just move from brewing to banking. I see the Bank of Zambia wants to be told if any commercial banks cannot make the capital requirement, and they want to be told now, not at the deadline on at quarter to 12 on the 31st of December. Commercial banks have to have a capital adequacy ratio requirement of 104 billion kwacha, and foreign banks 520 billion kwacha. Is this just a routine thing, or is the Bank of Zambia expecting a surprise or two here?
Yeah, I think what the bank has done, obviously they informed the banks early this year, at the beginning of the year, of those adjusted capital requirements. Like you mentioned, for the foreign banks, it's 520 billion. For the local banks, 104 billion. Now, obviously the banks have had, close to 11 months to fix their books. And if you've noticed, the banks that are listed on the Lusaka Stock Exchange, 4 of them actually, one of them has fully complied. The other one, Standard Chartered Bank, actually had a meeting last week in which the shareholders actually had to vote on the bonus issue, which was to help them comply with those capital requirements. The two that are remaining, Cavmont and Investrust, they will actually be holding meetings for the shareholders in the first week of December, in which they hope that by the action they take, I think they're doing a bonus issue as well as a rights issue, but the action that they take, they should be fully compliant by the end of the year. But certainly all the banks have been told by the Bank of Zambia to be fully compliant. Those who feel they may not be compliant have to submit a program in which they'll show that they should be fully compliant.